Alrighty, PG-13. This is G.I. Joe. Now, back in the early days, they did have G.I. Joe gliders. And you know, they were fun when you're like a kid and throwing them outside. I have an excellent memory of when I was a kid. And I got one from my friend Chris Kowalski. He has long since passed away of cancer, and I think 4 of his brothers also. In total, 4 of them all passed away out of 5. But anyways, in honor of Chris Kowalski, I did buy him a glider when we were kids, and I did get him the Falcon, and it did come with Grunt, this styrofoam glider. We did throw it, and it actually hit a car. We didn't do it on purpose. It hit a car and we lost it. So, you know, that's one of the good memories of being a kid. But, you know, it makes you wonder, like, G.I. Joe, they didn't really have any gliders for the Joe team other than that one. I don't think. Cobra had the Viper, which also made it a styrofoam. It would have been nice if these were actually made out of like plastic, you know. I mean, people are going to charge crazy prices for styrofoam just for a vintage glider. I will probably never buy one then. I mean, it's styrofoam. Yes, it's G.I. Joe, but it's also styrofoam, and styrofoam slowly deteriorates. So who knows how fragile that would be. Now, this is the I think it is the 83 glider, or is it the 84? Could be the 84, yeah. Yeah, it is the Cobra Claw 84, and this glider was fantastic. I did have this as a kid. It also has a little white bomb that you can attach underneath, so it can be like used as a drone. Basically, it could be used as a Ukrainian drone. So, you know, I guess back in the day, people actually were thinking. But who knew that these drones would be so effective? And it does come with a little missile here somewhere. I just want to see if I have one in my tray handy. If not, that's okay, because I do have it. It's kind of like the flight pod. Flight pod has that big mind, you know, this mind. But we're not talking about the flight pod today. I do like the flight pods, the triple bubbles. But this is the missile that fits where the trooper is. The Viper glider pilot. Now, I did love this. I did have one of these when I was a kid, and it did have sliding wings. The wings jettison out. It does have 2 missiles on it, one on each side, and unlike some of the G.I. Joe vehicles that came later on, these wheels actually move. You know, how hard would it have been for them to make wheels on the Cobra Raven in 2009? You know, not that hard. I believe these wheels even look better than the wheels on on our Ghost Striker. They do actually. So anyways, this, oh yeah, he's also got a little steering mechanism here. It's just fantastic. Now I changed the setting on the camera again just to make sure, see if it'll actually come in, but I don't know how well. This cover here is removable, and it could be one of the pieces that is lost, as well as the missiles. Now these are steering rudders. What is it, a boat? But the glider does have little rudders here. So you can simulate it. And you know, he could tuck his... This one, I just put loose legs on him. I could switch his legs later. But I actually never got a chance to. He is part of my custom figures. Anyways, surprisingly, he does stand. So it's kind of cool. He can actually hold the weight of that. Now, the other glider is 1987. And I did have this as a kid as well. And the cool thing is, well, they call it a jetpack, but it could be a glider because, well, obviously it glides. We have the red Okami figure in here. Just, you know, like fantastic looking. And this one also has 2 missiles or bombs on each side. Now this cannon does move up and down. Let's see if we can just pull back this camera. So the cannon does move up and down. I don't know if it was supposed to lock into place. But, oh, we lost the missile. Bombs away! So pieces that are constantly lost with this would be, well, the missiles. This part as well also falls off. And, you know, sometimes on these gliders, the pegs that peg into the back, they do break off. And that's the sad part. Same with, you know, you never know if these tabs might break off. So if you are looking for a jetpack or a glider, that is one awesome one to get from 1987. But I did love the 1984 one, the Cobra Claw. And it did match that gray, but again, that gray tends to change. Now also for that year, we did have another vehicle that was a glider. But it was a 2-in-1. It was the Cobra Sea-Ray. That back cover jettisons off to reveal the engine. Now these clips here can break, so you have to be a little careful. But for the video, you undo the bottom part, and then you hope it doesn't snap off. You can hear. Is it going to come off? I don't know. Now you think they would have made something better. I would just plug in and out. But you can kind of twist it. Oh, there we go. So just don't use too much force, and then you can get it out, because it's on like fragile clips, and you know how old this is by now. But it's got some detail there, like the figure peg is right there. And then again, this is a cool jetpack. A little dusty. I don't know how well this will come in, but overall it's not a bad glider. So we have a spare figure here, Sea Slug. Why didn't they name him the Sea Slug Viper? They named every other Viper Viper. So you can peg him on, but well, I don't know if we can get him in. So this guy is kind of screwed because he's got nothing to strap around him, and if he's a little loose, he makes the wrong move, he'll fall out. But again, you can see there's some detailing on underneath here, and it becomes a glider, and the other part becomes a mini submarine. Now would this look better in a different color? It might. Will we break it putting it back together? I don't know. Oh, I think you have to click in the bottom first, and then yes, just wiggle this in without breaking it. There we go. And we've managed to save this from not breaking. But these tabs do break off, so you have to be extra careful. As a kid, I did have 2 of these growing up. I thought they were pretty fantastic. You know, the vehicle could actually transform into 2 different vehicles. So you got 2 for the price of 1. So that's all I have for gliders, folks. Damn, I missed that. From BX257 or from BX257. I always forget. I think it is from BX257. Anyways, there was other gliders in the 90s. I do have pilots for some of those, but I just, you know, didn't really care for it, because even like the whole cartoon on, I watched a few of the episodes, it was all based on these stupid gliders. Like, I mean, some people do love the gliders, don't get me wrong. I would have liked to have had plastic gliders, not those cheap gliders that are made out of, like, I don't know. Mind you, those are not made out of styrofoam, but they are made out of like a plastic that might get brittle, I don't know. But they had the Air Commandos, and I don't know if there's like 4 gliders here or more, but they have the Air You know, I don't know if I'm going to get them. I don't have any. Anyone could donate. No one does. Now, there is a postal strike on, so I wanted to send out some figures in Christmas to some people, you know, just random, have a random draw. So we're gonna have to change that to sometime in the future. Oh, so much for Christmas. You know, they could have had a postal strike after Christmas. But anyways, we have a postal strike here, so can't even order figures. We get screwed. Thanks a lot. And just remember, you can make your own awesome costumes. I am super happy about this. This like just gets me excited for G.I. Joe. Lift ticket and fast draw make one hell of a pilot. Speaking of pilots, maybe Ken from Toy Connections will make a glider for their line. And not a crappy glider, but a cool glider. Or a cool jetpack. You never know. Now they have for Delta17, they have that, oh, I forget the name of it. But it is awesome. I always call it the Terminator. But they do have a cool thing coming. And I don't know if it'll be coming soon. But I just never remember the name. And I just read the name and I forgot it. But anyways, they have some cool stuff coming for that line. And yes, I do support a lot of the stuff that comes out, but again, some of these Kickstarters are just taking way too long, so I don't know if I'm going to get back in any, but then you want to. So I'll put it this way, I'll support the Kickstarters that I'm already in on, and like I already gave you the news about In the Navy, so maybe we'll get some In the Navy figures this year. And maybe we'll get the other ones coming spring for call sign Longbow. And then Operation Recall, because it's bigger figures, it's going to take a while to get those ones. So we won't get those ones until the summer. So again, you never know. But there is some cool stuff for this line. The Hind, you know, Delta17 is making the Hind. So again, I will support that if there is a something for that, a Kickstarter. Definitely will support Ken from Toy Connections and Steve. Just fantastic people. And the overall community has to get behind more of these Kickstarters, because Cho's would have been a cool Kickstarter to get in on. And again, what the heck? Cho's. Chaos. Can't you read? No, I can't. But I can read sometimes. Anyways, gotta make light. But now, Delta17 figures, don't forget, you can get some. They're on sale today until the end of the year. 20% off. And even if it's going to be delayed in the mail or not, they might be able to send it a different way. But I think everything comes to a certain thing. But in the States, it's not delayed, so you can definitely get these figures. Now, I'm thinking I want to get a whole set of them again, so I can make some customs. Yes, sir. I want to make some customs of these fantastic figures. Imagine if you had a whole bunch of these. Oh, man. And they should also offer the same figure with the different skin tone colors. You know, you got to have a few different skin tone colors, not just one. But that would be an idea, Ken. Because I would like to make some customs of this guy. You can have a whole squad of this, just this one type. It's like fantastic. Now, we're almost out of time here. So again, I do want to army build some more of these figures. I love them. And you know, if things work out, maybe I'll get some more